What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie Mel back again on my Soul Power channel to give you guys yet another video. And today we are on chapter 4, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I am reading the paperback version, and let's just hop right into it. Please remember to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you find it to be helpful, encouraging, inspiring to you in any way, eye-opening in any way, or just something new that's opening up your mind to maybe different ways of doing and receiving things in life. So let's just hop into it. So, mental healing in ancient times. Think good and good follows. Think evil and evil follows. You are what you think all day long. And I would also like to add that you are what you feel all day long as well. So if you're in a constant state of anger, bitterness, being super short with people, being in a hurry, feeling like you don't have enough of whatever, money, time, that also has an impact on what follows in your life, because it's not just what you think, it's also what you feel. What you feel and what you think and what you constantly picture in your mind has an effect on, the world that is going to be produced for you through you, okay? So let's go into it. It says, in the early history of the world, the power of secretly influencing people for good or evil, including the healing of the sick, said to be possessed by priests, priestesses, and holy people. So, I'll just keep going a little bit. They claimed to possess powers derived directly from God that included the healing of the sick. The procedures and the processes of healing varied throughout the world, but they generally included supplications and offerings to God, various ceremonies such as laying hands on people, incantations, and the use of amulets, talismans, rings, relics, and images. For example, in the religion of antiquity, priests in the ancient temples gave drugs to their patients and practiced hypnotic suggestions as they went to sleep. The patients were told that the gods would surely visit them in their sleep and heal them. Many healings followed. So let's talk about why that worked. Your subconscious mind is most subjective or accepting of suggestion as you're going to sleep. And this is basically also true of your conscious mind. So it's just like, it's easier to get to your subconscious mind through your conscious mind when you are drowsy, when you're extremely relaxed. This is why it's good to do breath work. This is why it's good to be able to meditate or to do anything that just calms you and soothes you. That's a great time to suggest. That's a great time to do affirmations. That's a great time to do mental pictures. That's a great time to do anything positive. Feel good feelings if you can. Because as we know, and as we've been told many times in this book, what you impress on your subconscious mind and what we continuously think about, harp on, dwell in, has an effect on what is produced and tangible in our real world on a day-to-day basis. Okay, let's see. Biblical accounts on the use of the subconscious powers. What things soever ye desire when you pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24, King James. Not King James, King James. So it's all about faith. It's all about what can you bring yourself to believe that something is really true? Can you really believe in your heart and mind that whatever it is that you desire is right there waiting for you and wants you and is unfolding every step of the way? Can you believe that? If you can, there's a good chance that you'll be able to manifest whatever it is that your heart desires. I think that sometimes it's easier to believe in certain things than it is in others, depending on how you were brought up, based upon how you're used to feeling, based upon your past experiences, because no matter how much we want to try to build new thoughts and feelings, like, our mind has a record of the past, which sometimes can affect our ability to believe what's possible. So it's just about being able to let go of things and unlearn things, because we learn certain things as we grow older, like hearing certain things like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, or constantly hearing someone talk about how broke they are, if that's what your parents would do. Not seeing a positive love in your life. If you never got to see a positive like relationship model to you, sometimes it's hard to believe in things that we haven't seen for ourselves, so we tend to default back to picturing and feeling like the things that we've seen. So let's see. It says, reread this passage from Apostle Mark and pay close attention to the difference in tenses. The verbs believe and receive are in the present, but the phrases shall have is in the future. The inspired writer is telling us something of the greatest importance by the seemingly minor difference in the grammar of the sentence. If we believe and accept as true the fact that our desire has already been accomplished and fulfilled, that it is already completed, then its realization will follow as a thing in the future. So, just breaking down that verse. The success of this technique relies on the confidence, the conviction that the thought, the idea, the picture is already a fact in mind. In order for anything to have substance in the realm of the mind, it must be thought of as actually existing. So it's important to actually feel that something already exists for you. Even if you don't have that relationship in front of your mind, it's important to think and feel that it's still right there for you somewhere. Maybe it's not right in your life, maybe it's not right in your face, but somewhere in the world is your partner. Somewhere in the world is that check that is going to have your name on it for that whatever, you know? So it's just about being able to, I think a good way to be able to release resistance is to generalize. So sometimes when I feel like it makes me feel more negative than positive to say something, because maybe like in general, I don't really have that belief yet, or I haven't seen it, so I have a little pushback within me about what's possible for me, I'll just go general. You know, I'll go general. It's the same as like, maybe the person that you've been with isn't your husband. Maybe it is. But if you wanted to have a husband, you could just simply affirm that I know my husband is this. My husband is that. Because somewhere in the world is your husband, even if he hasn't walked into your life. Even if that applies to you, a wife, whatever, if that's what you want for yourself. If you want to have a best friend, believe in your mind that somewhere your best friend is there. And they are just as excited to meet you as you are excited to meet them. If you are trying to manifest a large amount of money, we already know that that money exists somewhere. It exists somewhere, and it's just waiting basically for you to walk up to that opportunity that is already on your path, for that money to be transferred to you, whether it be by check, Cash App, Zelle, what's another one? Venmo, whatever. Wire transfer, check. I think I already said check it. It's in the world. So just having the belief in being able to be like, you know what, even if it's not right here, even if I don't want to pretend or say an affirmation that affirms that it's here now, you know that it's here in the world. So just being able to have that mental picture will do amazing things for you. Okay, let's see what else I wanted to share out of this chapter. Okay. It says, the prime condition that Jesus insisted upon was faith. Over and over again, you read in the Bible, according to your faith, it is done unto you. If you plant certain types of seeds in the ground, you have faith that they will grow after their kind. This is the way of seeds, and trusting the laws of growth in agriculture, you know that the seeds will come forth after their kind. Meaning, you know that if you planted apple seeds, that what's going to come of those apple seeds are apple trees that are going to produce apples. Apples are they're going to produce their own kind. So meaning if you have a constant rumination about how you want peppermint oil and how peppermint oil is here for your life, and then boom, somewhere in your life is going to be peppermint oil. It's going to be produced because that's the same kind of thought. So if you have a good thought, if you have a good feeling, if you have a good, if you repeat, mental images about positive things will come. And it's just a double-edged sword, because as always, it goes both ways. So just doing our best, because we are only human and there are things that affect our emotions, and it's valid to, it's valid to have worries and skepticisms and stuff like that because of just your lived experience. That's a part of all of our experience. But however, you know that the seeds that you plant are going to uproot in its own kind. So if you plant oranges, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to be orange plants. If you do apples, apples. Pumpkins, pumpkins. So just keep that in mind. Okay? The faith that is described in the Bible is a way of thinking, an attitude of mind, an inner certitude, knowing the idea you fully accept in your conscious mind will be embodied in your subconscious mind and made manifest. Faith is, in a sense, accepting as truth what your reason and senses deny. It is dosing down, refusing to listen to the little, rational, analytical, conscious mind, and embracing that attitude of complete reliance on the inner power of your subconscious mind. Here is one of the best known examples of biblical techniques of healing. And when he had gone indoors, I'm just going to stop there. So let me stop there before I go on. So yeah, basically what we learned from that is that it's basically about just being certain. Finding a way to be certain and denying, even when everything is screaming to you the opposite, being able to keep that faith, being able to know that regardless of how things look, it's working out for you. Knowing and affirming that it's working out for you, feeling in your heart that it is working out for you, no matter what it is, no matter how crazy it seems. When you can do that, you are very powerful because you're not letting the outside world dissuade you from what's coming, because the truth is everything that we see right now in our physical world is just a product of something that we thought of in the past. So you can't be looking at the world that's manifest, which is basically the past, and making that a deciding factor about what's going to happen in your future. Okay, so mastering that, I feel like, is the hardest part of anything, because it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, I am a billionaire. Then you look at your account and you're like, where's the money? Oh my God, there's no way. But you have to be able to still, no matter what you're seeing, hold on to that faith. That undeniable, unshakable faith is what makes things possible. That's what miracles are made of. Okay, so in saying, see that no one hears about this, Jesus was urgently urging the healed patients not to discuss their healings with others. If they did so, they might be harassed by the skeptical and derogatory criticisms of the unbelieving. This in turn might have tended to undo the benefits they had received at the hand of Jesus by depositing thought of fear, doubt, and anxiety into the subconscious mind. So this is important. This is why it's important. I've had to learn this to keep my most prized dreams very close to the heart. And you can't share everything with everyone, because sometimes sharing something that you're excited about, if someone else hears it and they're not able to believe with you, it might deter you in your belief in what you think is possible for you. So if you go out there and say, yeah, I'm going to sell 1 million socks in my sock business that I'm going to start tomorrow, someone could walk up to you and say, that's not possible. Well, how are you going to do that? And start just interjecting all these negative thoughts about something that was put in your heart. And you don't want to do that, especially with things that are really important to you. Now, if you're just a person who it doesn't matter what other people say, you're still going to hold on to it, I still suggest for you to keep it close to the heart, because it's just like, not everyone deserves to know your most inner hopes and dreams. Sometimes people are just meant to watch it unfold, and then later when everybody's asking you, well, how did you do it? That's when you can go ahead and just be like, well, I just decided one day that this was for me. I was absolutely certain, and I just didn't let anything deter me from believing that this was possible for me, and then help people that way. But sometimes when you're in the midst of going for it, you don't want to share things that you want to manifest or that you're manifesting until after it's over. If you can share things with people who you trust, people who you know are going to support you. But if you know someone is like a negative Nancy, or you see that this person is not really supportive, don't share your hopes and dreams with those people, because you don't want that to have a negative effect on what you believe is true for you, okay? Know that faith is like a seed planted in the ground. It grows after its kind. Planted the idea, the seed in your mind, water and fertilize it with expectancy, and it will manifest. Be a mental engineer as use tried and true techniques in building a grander and greater life. Learn to pray for your loved ones who may be ill. Quiet your mind and thought of healing, vitality, and perfection operating through the one universal subjective mind will be felt and rejected in the mind of your loved one. Okay. And I'm just going to end this chapter off with the things that you should remember at the end of the chapter that they list every single time, which I think is helpful. Ideas to remember. Remind yourself frequently that the healing power is in your subconscious mind. 2. Knowing that faith is like a seed planted in the ground, it grows after its kind. Plant the idea, seed, in your mind, water it and fertilize it with expectancy, and it will become manifest. 3. The idea you have for a book, new invention, or play is real in your mind. This is why you can believe you have it now. Believe in the reality of your idea, plan, or invention. As you do, it will become manifest. 4. In praying for another, know that your silent inner knowingness of wholeness, beauty, and perfection can change the negative patterns of the other's subconscious mind and bring about wonderful results. 5. The miraculous healings you hear about at various shrines are due to the imagination and blind faith that act on the subconscious mind, releasing the healing power. 6. All diseases, and basically anything, originates in the mind. Nothing appears on the body unless it is a mental pattern corresponding to it. The symptoms, this is number 7. The symptoms of almost any disease can be included in you by can be inducing you by hypnotic subjection. This shows you the power of your thought. 8. There is only one process of healing, and that is faith. There is only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind. 9. Whether the object of your faith is real or false, you will get results. Your subconscious mind responds to the thought in your mind. Upon faith as a thought in your mind, and that will suffice. The feeling of health produces health. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. How do you feel? So I think that's a great place to end. How do you feel? So if you ended up reading through all of this book, if you made it all the way to the end, please let me know down in the comments by maybe leaving a book emoji. And also take this time, if you have it, to think about what are you thinking about every day, and how are you feeling on a regular basis, and start today with concentrating on increasingly having better feelings and thoughts. Okay, as always, stay cautious, stay cute. Check out the links in the description if you're interested in getting this book for yourself, and other ways to support me that include merch, my Patreon, all that good stuff. Okay, see you later. Stay cautious, stay cute, and I'll see you guys in the next one.